Hello and welcome to Tan Pants.
We appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you keep tuning, and we'll keep talking.
Keep on tuning, y'all.
That's right.
Keep on tuning. I'm self-conscious about my posture.
That's weird, Isaac.
Yeah, I'm sitting as professional as I can.
Am I supposed to look at that camera?
If you want to talk to the camera, you can look at the camera. I can look at that camera and say, "Hi, listener. This is Isaac coming to you live about special supplements that you can buy. These supplements will fill your bodies with health and love. Supplements are brought to you by supplements." See how perfect that was? Listen, a real supplement company is going to call us, and they're going to say, "Hey, sell our supplements." And we'll say, "Sure," and then no one will buy any.
I'll buy some.
Go buy some. It's important to be healthy.
Sure.
People go through great lengths to be healthy. People go through great lengths to make sure that other people are healthy in the future.
You know what else goes through great lengths?
Tell me.
Snakes.
Snakes do?
Snakes.
Well,
I was going to say slinky.
let me tell you all about honey, oh boy.
Honey. Oh, boy.
Honey, man.
Oh, boy.
So, some facts about honey. It's sticky.
Uh-huh.
It's sweet. It's made by bees.
Whoa. Pause.
You want to pause?
This is your topic?
Yeah, I'm going to talk about honey.
You have Isaac presents Honey Oh Boy. You put this together.
I put this together myself.
You guys are really trying to make me look bad.
Man, listen, you don't have to do a TED Talk every week. I mean, I'm going to do a TED Talk every week.
This
You don't have to. You don't have to.
Isaac
I worked really hard on this TED Talk.
But your name's not Ted.
I can tell. It looks like you removed the background of the
I did. I used to slow. Wait till you see the other backgrounds. I
How
removed.
much time did you spend on this, Isaac?
Probably 3 hours, 4 hours.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So bees make honey, y'all.
Yes.
So some
I did
people,
not know that.
some people in the ancient world have figured this out. You know, these things you can talk to sometimes. They make
Sure,
honey.
it took a lot of figuring.
A lot of figuring. But you know what else they figured out? You take the honey, you go drizzle, drizzle, drizzle on top of something. It preserves it better than a Twinkie.
Wow.
So modern man figured out Twinkies can stay alive for a long time. Ancient man is like, forget that. We drizzle honey on something, and that stuff keeps forever.
Yep.
Right.
I'm going to teach you some crazy things about honeys. But I'm going to talk to you about a certain thing called the mellified man.
Oh, I know him.
Yeah, the mellified man. So whenever you take honey to preserve something, it's called mellification. So the mellified man is taking an
I feel like
entire.
you're making this up.
No. You take a whole guy, a whole man, and you say, "Hey, man, guess what? You know, we figured out that if you take a man and dip him in honey,
Right.
and then have him just eat honey and just drink honey, and that's all his diet is, and he eats honey until he sweats honey, until he bleeds honey, until he just passes honey,
Wow.
and then he dies.
Yeah.
And then you take that dead honey man and you put him in a bigger container of honey and you seal him away and you bury him for 100 years.
Wow.
And this is an aged honey man. And after 100 years have expired, you can crack open that coffin and you got some good eats.
Wait, you're going to eat him?
We're going to eat him for our health.
What?
So this is what
What kind of pagan ritual?
this is what they did in Asia back in the old days.
Whoa.
So mellification.
That's too much.
Let me make sure I read all the things I need to read. So, the mellified man, or the human mummy confection, was a legendary medical substance created by steeping a human cadaver in honey. The concoction is detailed in Chinese medical sources, including the Binkao Gangumu of the 16th century. Relying on secondhand accounts, though, so no one is exactly sure how real this is, but people are pretty sure it's real because we got bodies. So the text reports, the report in this little journal says, some elderly men in Arabia nearing the end of their lives would submit themselves to the process of mummification in honey to create this healing concoction.
And it worked?
It worked great. So after a century, after he ate all the honey his body could literally stand till he died, they would put him in honey. After 100 years, the contents would have turned into a confection reputedly capable of healing broken limbs and other ailments.
No.
This confection would be sold at street markets as a hard-to-find item for a hefty price.
Wow.
You know who else did this to his body?
Wait, so back up.
Okay, we can back up.
This guy was he consumed so much honey that he basically became honey.
Yeah.
And then they put him inside honey.
Put him in honey.
And then they waited 100 or 1,000 years or whatever.
Just 100.
And then they dug him up or took him out of the honey.
Yeah.
And then they crushed him up and made him into medicine, and it cured bones?
Yeah. You would eat the mummy man, the mummy honey man, and he would cure your broken bones and other ailments. So we're not exactly sure what all they ate this people for.
Go on.
So a famous person did this to his body. Alexander the Great was reportedly preserved in a honey-filled sarcophagus. And there are also indications that the Egyptians did this as well.
What did Alexander the Great do?
He conquered the known world.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much.
He was a pretty motivated man. So he didn't eat honey till he died, though. He was just preserved in honey.
Weak.
So only these people in Arabia ate honey till they died.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a rare thing.
So would their body just look like normal? No decay at all?
You want to see some honey bodies?
I mean, no, but
Maybe
yes.
not really.
So here is a site, an ancient graveyard, where they're digging up some honey bodies.
Wow.
So these guys are past their 100-year expiration date. For our listeners, these people are standing in just looks like desert, but there's a certain patch of desert that's very, very red. Like honey is soaked into the sand for 1,000 years or whatever. So these guys are excavating a 4,000-year-old graveyard where the mellification was practiced. So these guys found a 35-foot burial mound in the Republic of Georgia. Deep inside are 4,000-year-old wagons and a jumble of dead.
In Georgia?
In Georgia.
They honeyed
USA.
a wagon?
In Georgia.
Say what?
They honeyed a wagon?
They just found wagons down there.
Oh.
Just a lot of things were buried. You know how those Egyptians were.
In Georgia?
Now, this is the country of Georgia, not the state of Georgia.
Oh.
There's a
I
country
keep
called Georgia.
thinking Georgia.
So let me show you Zurab Makahardazi.
I just think...
Look at that
Hey,
man.
honey, look what I
Is
found
that
out
the honey
here.
man?
This is not the honey man. This is the guy who finds honey men. So the article I was reading was called "Honey, I'm Dead," and I think it's from National Geographic. But they interviewed this guy, and they described him as a shy man. He was a shy, large, red-faced man.
Who ate people?
He didn't eat people, no.
you
So
sure?
The world.
So this picture for the audio listeners is this shy man in his nice suit. He's smiling, happy, and he has a plastic
Tupperware.
bucket. So it has some Tupperware full of nuts and berries that
Sure.
have been preserved by the honey.
I'm sure they're nuts and berries and not people's bodies.
You could eat that.
I'm sure you
4,000-year-old nuts and
could. You
berries.
could also eat 4,000-year-old body parts.
You could, but
Did anybody eat them, though?
I don't trust those berries.
I don't know. I don't know if he ate them or not.
I don't trust those berries.
I wrote, this shy man has found berries and nuts preserved in honey. He might eat them and gain their power.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's a dead guy.
Where?
See him right there?
I just see bones.
Well, that's his bones and skin and everything. So after all
the skin.
after the honey did its job. So that is the corpse of a 4,000-year-old honey man.
All I see is bones. When you say corpse, I see bones.
Well, that's like a really, really old corpse.
Well,
So his honey casket has broken.
I'm not really.
So the honey is gone.
I'm not really seeing the outline, Isaac. All I'm looking at is just a pile of bones.
There's a dude there.
You say there's a dude there, but I'm just looking at a pile
Right.
of bones.
He's been preserved, my man.
He's been. That's what it looks
that
like.
does not
That's
look
what
like
you-
bones.
Max, have
You
you, ever
know
seen
what-
a man preserved in honey before?
You know what they found all over this man?
Honey?
No.
What?
They found pollen and broken bee toes.
Oh.
Bee
What's
toes.
that?
Bees have toes.
They stick their toes in there, and it gets hard, and they gotta cut
they
the toes
accidentally
off
break
and
their
leave them
toes.
in.
All right.
So they found ancient bee toes and pollen on this dead guy. So though the honey is long gone from his body, the sweet remnants are still there. So it says archaeologists found thousands of bee toes on the preserved bodies. Those bees.
My goodness.
But why were people so interested in preserving their friends?
Maybe because they love them. Maybe they just wanted to eat them.
They were more than just friends. They were medicine.
Is that a quote by you?
That's a quote by me. See right there?
Wow.
I said that. I thought that today.
Right.
I found another mellified man.
You did? Is it the scary picture? I didn't put
Yeah.
the scary picture in there.
It's scary.
Let me see.
Oh
That's
boy,
scary.
it is scary.
That's gross, man.
So so not just honey mummies, even normal mummies. The medicinal use of mummies and the sale of fake ones is well documented in chemistry books of the 16th to the 18th centuries in Europe, but nowhere outside of Arabia were the corpses volunteers. Mummies were a common ingredient in the Middle Ages until at least the 18th century, and not only as medicine, but as fertilizers and even paint.
What?
The use of the corpses and body parts as medicine goes far back. In the Roman Empire, the blood of dead gladiators were used to treat epilepsy.
Wow.
So it had to be specifically gladiator blood.
Gladiator blood. Drink a little bit of gladiator blood and you'll stop having seizures. Or maybe
Does
you'll
it
get
work?
more. I highly doubt that works.
All that text looks
Well,
like
have you tried?
I haven't tried. No.
We don't have any gladiators.
We have to find a
today,
gladiator.
right?
The closest thing we have to a gladiator, I think,
a
would
cat.
be
no,
like-
I can't.
these e-sports guys.
I can't read
Esport.
your notes. It looks like all the text at the bottom of a movie DVD.
It is.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I used.
Yeah.
I clicked the movie DVD font. So that brings me to right now. How would you guys like to invest? Tan Pants is presenting today the Honey Institute. Save your rotting body from rotting for the future. So right now, if you invest in my new enterprise, because I'm going to bring this back, this honey thing was a good idea. Because imagine, your young, healthy self, right? You're going to get old and die someday. But what if your future grandbabies, 100 years from now, they're sick, their bones are broken, they're unhealthy, they need to eat old grandpa's honey body. So
Sure.
invest in the Honey Institute, and you can be honey.
No.
Well, my notes are gone.
Like if their bones are broken, they can just I don't know set it.
Yeah,
and
but
split.
I know, Clay. I know.
How
But
is-
what you're really asking is, how can I become a honey mummy? I'll
Yeah.
tell you how. In three
That's what I- that's
in
what I was
three
asking.
easy steps, the Honey Institute will help you.
Well, you sold
What if I'm not a female?
If you're not a female, what does that have to do with
Be a
anything?
honey mummy.
Josh, what do you mean?
How-
What if?
Do you know
I'm
what a
not
mummy
female?
is?
Yeah, like your mum.
It's your mum. No, I'm talking about an Egyptian mummy, like a preserved human.
You know what a mummy is, Josh?
Yeah. I
After
get
you
it. I
die,
get it.
you get mummified.
I'm trying to be funny.
He was.
That was
trying to-
very funny.
I was gonna say, is a honey mummy like the female equivalent of a sugar daddy?
It might be.
Yeah.
That sounds dangerous, though. So, how do you become a honey mummy? Step 1, eat nothing but honey until you die. That's the hard part.
That can't be that hard.
So the Honey Institute will lock you in a room with just honey and
how
force feed
much?
you.
How
That would
much honey
stink.
would you have to consume until you die?
Enough.
I would
until
imagine
you-
it'd only be
Well,
like a couple of gallons.
the ancient description was until they sweat honey, passed only honey, and bled honey.
But how do you? It doesn't get in your bloodstream.
You
does it?
cut someone. Oh,
Well,
there's,
they'd
there's
be
honey
dead by
in there.
then.
Yeah, that's about when you die. When you
Yeah.
eat so much honey, it's in your blood.
Okay.
So step 2, after you die, the Honey Institute, us, will seal your corpse in a coffin filled with honey. Step 3, in 100 years' time, the Honey Institute will share your preserved honey parts with the world as soup.
Well, this is a risky investment because if I die and get put into a casket of honey, how do I know that your institute is going to last 100 years?
Our institute is determined to last for the long run.
Tell that to the honey mummies that have in
Listen,
the ground. that
there
haven't been dug up.
there are some whiskey manufacturers that begin their business and they don't know what the whiskey's going to taste like for at least like 6 months.
That's true.
This is just like that. So
6 months.
But
Our
what
first
about-
round of honey mummies will be ready by 2122. 100 years from now, right? That's 100 years. Our first batch. So hopefully, we're hoping to make at least 5 honey mummies. That's 1, 2, 3,
Hold up.
and then 2 other volunteers.
Is this kind of like when you get your license and it says on the back, do you want to be an organ donor, and you check yes or no?
Yeah, exactly that.
I mean, they just use it for the same thing, right?
Except your body will be consumed by future sick
I'd rather
people.
I'd rather be honey than just have my organs ripped out and used for something.
I don't know how
Exactly.
I feel about this institution spiritually.
What? Don't ask those questions.
Come on, Josh. It's okay.
Well,
Let your body
considering
be
this is
eaten.
all, open source things, conventional technologies, the moat for your business is not very large. How
true.
are you going to be more competitive than others?
Well,
right.
let me answer that question with a question. You can invest in the Honey Institute today.
I like the inspirational unsplash picture
Prove
of the man
them
with the
wrong.
sign.
Yeah.
Who are your competitors?
Wait, what am I proving?
Don't ask that
I can
question.
die, honey?
Listen,
Prove them wrong.
what better gift can you give to your future generations in 100 years than your own honey body?
Well, just imagine my future generations that I've never met
Yeah.
opening up this crusty old
Well,
box and
the honey-
seeing
the
my
honey-
dead face.
The Honey Institute,
formed.
the Honey Institute cannot guarantee your family will get first dibs. It's whoever can pay the most. But your family will be there when the honey casket is opened.
Okay.
All right, so I am willing to take a risk here.
You gonna take a risk?
I'm willing to invest $2 for a 67% stake in your company.
67.
It's a bit different.
Will you volunteer to be honeyed?
No.
Okay. Okay. If you volunteer to be honeyed, yeah, I would say 67%. But
Do you have a group of honey scientists? That
yes,
will
we do.
lead the-
So our strategy that we didn't quite outline. This is off the record now. So now it doesn't do just to honeyfy like a skinny dude, because he's not going to give much product. So we need to make sure that the people that volunteer are as fat as possible, and then we begin the honey process.
I have a question. This is a strange question, but does it have to be a humans?
Yeah, it has to be humans.
Okay.
It can't be like your
Josh,
cat or
come
your
on.
dog.
All right.
Don't be sick.
Yeah, that's disgusting. How dare you?
Sorry, I couldn't not think about it.
Okay, good.
What's wrong with you, man?
Well, thank you for joining the Honey Institute. It's going to be a great partnership for all of us. I truly do believe it.
I would expect a free gift basket.
I'm out.